Good day everyone, Breanne here from Pigment. Today I'm going to be coloring a cover from the new fantasy book. And I'm going to use a couple different new tools and tricks that I've been experimenting with. I'm going to start with that and we'll see how that goes. And then I might grab some other colors from other areas. But that's what I'm going to use to start. So I'm gonna pull this dark blue here and I'm gonna go to my fill tool and I'm going to go to my metallic fill and I'm just going to tap it in the middle here because the metallic kind of gets lighter through the middle and darker through the sides, which I want to create kind of like a night scene back there. So I'm just gonna tap it. And then I'm gonna get, all my edges are gonna be dark, which is just what I wanted, but it's a little bit lighter in the center. So that's perfect. And then I'm gonna go back to my fill tool and I'm gonna pluck my bloom tool out. And I'm gonna grab this nice light pink here. And I'm just gonna touch it right under where her chin is. And then you're gonna get this nice bloom effect around here of light coming from her with the dark in the background. And I think that's super pretty. So I need to fill in this little area here, and there are tricks that you can do to make the colors look fluid because it's on automatic mode. You get all these little spaces here and you want to make them look fluid with the rest of the picture. So there are ways to do that. I'll zoom in here. So easiest way to do it that I can suggest, I'm just going to put it on the airbrush tool to fill it. And then I'm just going to color match that color there. So then that's the same purple, but I'm also going to color match this pink. I'm going to bring up the brush size a bit and I'm just going to add a little bit of that color there. So it kind of looks like it fluidly transfers. So we're not missing out. Now over here, same situation, all in between the hair, it's gonna be filled, correct? So I'm just going to color match again. And then I'm just going to fill in the areas that I think there is no hair, to make it look more fluid, and just color match until you get the exact kind of look you're going for. It's kind of hard here because there's a lot of kind of, the wings are in here too, eh? Like these are the wings here. So I think this is about the only, yeah, I think I'm just gonna actually leave it for now because those are the wings. But I'm just gonna fill in these last couple of places here. I love fantasy stuff, by the way. It's so fun to color. Okay, so there. That's all I'm gonna do for my background for now. I just wanted to get my colors in place. I kind of had a plan as to what I wanted to do this time. And then I'm gonna go back to the background once I've completed the picture, and I'm going to do the little sparkles that are back there. But for now, I'm gonna focus on coloring this pretty fairy here. So I'm going to get out, I don't usually use the skin tone palette for skin tones, but I'm gonna use it this time just to kind of show how it can be used. So I'm gonna do it the most simplest way, and I'm just gonna grab my fill tool and I'm just going to fill in sometimes I have to zoom in close to get those little tiny areas. No, that's gonna be hair there. Okay, so this is the easiest way that I know of to do skin on line art. Oh, There you go. But there's no shading, there's no nothing going on right now. You got your colors in place, but now you need to add shading. Normally in grayscale, I would do all that manually and then add my shading in after. But that is actually the nice thing about line art, is you can do things a little bit quicker. So I'm gonna go, I always shade with my airbrush tool. It's just easiest, I find, but you can use different things for different effects. I mean, we could try pencil and see if that's gonna, let's do pencil. And I can always tighten up the lines after. So I'm just shading on the outside of the leg with the pencil tool. You're gonna get texture with the pencil tool, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So you just kind of want to shade where you think that there would be shaded areas. The cross of the legs here. I'm gonna just bring down my brush size a little bit there. Get a little bit more control over the spread of my shading. You can use just about anything you want to shade skin. I'm just playing with the brush size as I'm shading to get the size that I need for the areas that I'm filling in. Shading around this beautiful dress here. And then we can blend these later as well. Okay, so now I'm going to, the airbrush tool is really easiest to deposit and blend the color for skin. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that just to blend these colors around, and I want to implement a little bit of some lighter shades. One thing to remember about when you're doing skin on anything is that skin is a variety of shades and colors. If you look at your skin, there's different depth in different areas. And you want to incorporate that to your picture. So always remember to play around with the different shades and tones. And all I'm doing here is color matching and just blending in a bit, because it's a little bit darker than I actually want it. Okay. So now, that being said, I'm gonna actually pluck. I use these colors a lot to kind of add color to the skin. So I'm gonna use those that I usually use, and they're up here. And one of them I use is this from the Serape, this tanned kind of color. And you just want to very lightly brush this color in. You don't want it to be too dark. You just want it to add some color to the skin. And I'm not done after this either. So there you go, that's good for now. Then I'm going to use the vintage sweater. And these are all colors that I've come very familiar with, that I use when I color. And I'm using like these orangey colors just to kind of add depth to the skin, but you have to press very lightly. You don't want to have orange skin. I mean, unless you want to have orange skin, that's completely fine. But I mean, if you're trying to do like a realistic skin tone, you don't want to press down too hard. And then I'm just gonna go around and blend. And then you can already see that she's getting some color. She's getting some depth to her skin. And I'm just pressing ever so lightly to get this color. And I'm not pressing hard. Just remember, don't press hard or you end up with a big orange person. Like I said, unless you want an orange person, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just giving advice for realistic skin tones here. I've done blue skin, I've done purple skin, so sometimes it does call for, you know, drastic measures. So now I really love using the Winterberry for blush and so forth. You're gonna wanna bring your brush size down. This is a very small area of skin color to be coloring. So you don't want to overpower by any means. And I'm just deepening up the colors underneath the cheekbones to kind of give this illusion of raised cheekbones. And then I'm gonna go back to my recently used colors. And I got all these wonderful skin tones that I've used. And I'm just going to play with shading even deeper now that I've got some color and definition to the skin. Skin usually takes me a while to do. I'm not gonna lie, because I really do like to achieve depth. So shading under the chin, shading in the collarbone, the neckline, under the arm, near the dress line. And just kind of reiterating. That's why the pencil tool is kind of nice, because you do get some texture from it. And at the same time, it kind of guides you with your shading after you get your color tools or your colors in place, sorry, on your picture. Thinking about potentially doing something wild with her skin, but I don't know yet. We'll see how it all comes together. I kind of went out of the lines here, so I'm just going to color match and fix that up. All I'm doing is blending, shading, getting my skin tones the way that I want them, really. And I'm using my recently used palette to achieve. So I did a closer line to the leg. Now I widened up my brush, so I made the brush size bigger. Now I'm doing a larger blend of that same color. And don't be shy to play with the brush size, because on a smaller area of skin like this, like it's not a portrait, so portrait you can like get away with larger brush sizes for shading, but in something like this, like look how low I am, just to get some shading around the eye and the nose. And play with your pressures as well, because you don't want to be pressing too hard. When I was learning how to do skin tones, it was always coming out harsh and I couldn't figure out why. And it's honestly because it has a lot to do with the pressure that you apply with your brush and your blending technique. I'm just gonna add a nice little highlight to the cheekbone here with the light pink. And I'm just gonna blend here a bit. I'm actually probably going to need a really dark shade for some of these parts. I do my shades in layers though, I like to see what I'm doing with my shades, so I start out light and then I kind of go deeper after I kind of know what I'm looking at, well, how I want it to look. And it actually adds a really nice layering effect as well. And I'm just adding a couple highlights here. So lots of color matching, if you notice I'm doing that, lots of color matching. It blends, it adds the color that you're adding, but it also blends it into the surrounding skin tone like I'm just doing right now. And then you get a very natural looking line as opposed to just a really harsh line that's sitting on top of a color. Blending them together is important. You can have definitely stuff that stands out more in certain areas. It all just depends on your style and preference of coloring. Like I said, it does take me a while to get my skin tone the way I like it. And then even after I'm done, after I color, like let's say after I color the dress, I want more shading somewhere, or I want more depth, then I go back and I touch it up as well. But I like at least getting my skin in place and set up for any other changes that might come up as I'm coloring the rest of the piece. And if you notice, sometimes I leave random lines somewhere. That's just because when I'm rotating my page, my hands are into everything. But that is what the back button is for, and it works well. But if you miss it and you keep on coloring and you go back and you go, oh dang, I got that line there. Usually in most cases you can color match from the surrounding color and fix it that way as well. So try not to panic. I think fantasy stuff is overall my absolute most favorite thing to color. I will have to say that I just love coloring fairies and mermaids and who's with me. I love it. So I'm just adding some highlight to the nose, and I'm just using, if you notice as I'm going, I'm using all the colors that I've achieved from my skin tones by blending and whatnot. So I just keep on using them, and then some keep on getting added when I color match. And then like I'm using a light skin tone right now just to do my base highlight for my areas that I'm gonna want a highlight. And then I always do the lip line, like I outlined the lip line, just because I find it adds, makes the lips stand out is what it does. And then if you want to highlight under where you've shaded, it really makes the shade pop and creates depth in those areas as well. And then areas like the shoulder, the arm going down on this side, the top of the thigh, the knee, going down to the foot. And then you can also, I'm going to do this, the Vapor. It's this nice pinky hue skin color, and I sometimes add this in small doses though, don't go crazy with it. And then I also use it for highlighting. Just doing the cheek. Funny the colors that we get used to using, but you can use anything you want really. I mean, it's your picture, but I'm just showing how to kind of get some shading and highlights in place for a somewhat realistic skin tone. And I'm just going over it with the lighter shade, but I'm actually going to color match. Just blend that out a bit. Well, we're getting somewhere. And then I'm going to go a step further, and I'm going to use that pink from the Sugar Plum again. And I'm going to just kiss it in places. When I say kiss, I just mean lightly, lightly dab. just color matching, blending. Okay, now that I'm already on this kind of skin tone-ish color, I'm gonna bring it all the way down to, it's almost white, but it's like a cream. And then I'm going to highlight some of the outside area of the leg lightly. So I'm starting off with a line, and then I'm opening up the brush size a bit and spreading it outward. I'm gonna go dark again. And I'm just gonna widen up some of the areas that I've shaded already. And then I'm going to bring it back down. Now gently kind of getting those highlights a little bit lighter. And this is creating like different levels of skin tone. See how it goes lighter to darker. And there is our skin. I think that's pretty good for now. We, like I said, as we color, we can always come back to it and change things about it. I might do a little bit of touch-ups here because I'm actually gonna, I just decided I'm just gonna finish off the face right now. So to finish off the face, I just gotta zoom in here. And I might actually add some colored eyeshadow here. I'm still using the Sugar Plum palette. I think this palette's really nice for fantasy. And you can deepen it up and add, I love doing makeup in real life. So doing makeup for, like, that's why I'm so obsessed with portraits. I love doing makeup and coloring hair and having all that kind of fun with that. Though I don't get ready as much as I used to, I do really enjoy dressing up once in a while. Okay, so I'm just adding an eyeshadow. I'm not going to use the airbrush much for anything. Like I use it for blending colors and shading. So I might use it in the wings a little bit and stuff later, but we're going to use some fun new things to achieve some results here in this tutorial. So I'm just highlighting around her eyes with the lighter pink, and I just keep on, if you notice, I keep on going and adjusting my brush size as I need it to be adjusted. And I'm deepening colors, and I'm lightening up colors, and I'm playing with my brush size, and I'm just doing this to see what kind of effects I can achieve with her eyes right now. And I'm getting like this nice purpley, reddy thing going on here. Just adding a little bit of purple. She's a fairy, so she can have like wicked cool makeup. Actually, sometimes what I do too is I will do it right now as soon as I'm done blending here. Let's go to the fun glitter tool. Love glitter. Okay, so then when I'm done doing like the eye or whatever, I go down to maybe a lighter color, and I just kind of need my brush size to be a little bit lower there. I need my opacity to be up a little bit more. So brush size, let's say around 11, 15, whatever. And then I'm just gonna bring my opacity up to about half. Maybe just a tad bit lower. And then you get this kind of sparkle and shine here. Now I'm gonna bring my opacity down, my brush size up, and you can even add a little bit of glitter to the face if you like. I'm just going to play with it here to get the effect I'm going for. She's got glitter highlighting her cheekbone and around the eye and on the eye itself. Now I am just going to deepen this up a bit here. And then I'm going to lighten it up a bit up here. And this is all done with the Sugar Plum palette. I'm going back and forth with pinks and purples and just having fun making her pretty right now. And we use the glitter brush to highlight the cheekbones. And actually deepen this up under here a bit. I'm just going over that area with, I always highlight the brow. I do it in real life too when I'm doing makeup. See, some skills can transfer over. Okay, so let's get her lips done now. And I think for her lips, I'm just gonna play with pigment palettes, I think, in this coloring. I'm not gonna use any of my own palettes. I'm gonna just kind of go around and show you. Lots of times I don't even use my own palettes. I think there's a lot of selection and variety in the Pigment palette, so I'm just going to use that for now. And then I'm going to go to my fill tool and I'm going to go to pillow. I'm going to tap in the middle so I get the shading on the outside, but I want my opacity up higher than that. There we go. There's the deep red lips that I'm looking for. Okay, and then I'm going to grab this lighter red and I'm just going to kind of play with highlighting it. And then you can also, if you want to add realistic lip lines, you can. So you just put your brush size on low and you just kind of work them in there very small. And then you would go to an even brighter red, which I'm going to use from the red palette. And I'm going to use this bright red here. And then I am going to go to my white. And then you can even go to your laser. I'm just shading up the eyes a little bit more. Black. And I'm just kind of going around fixing any areas I think that need a little bit of fixing here. I almost forgot to give this pretty lady an eye color, so let's just go blue. And go to our fill tool. That's weird, it's filling outside the line. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of a lighter blue. It's a very small area, so you're not really going to even notice it, but I just like to highlight the eyes a little bit. So there's our skin so far. Got her eyes and her lips and the makeup, the eye makeup. I'm just going to grab my white. I do my like very bright highlights after. It's always the last thing I do. I'm going to take my laser actually and I brush it across the cheekbone. And then maybe a little bit on the shoulder. Laser is a great tool for highlighting. I don't like to overdo it though. That's why I do all these steps and I do little bit here, a little bit there, and then I just kind of know where I want things. And then I add the laser in after. Maybe I'll just leave that. So got a little bit of highlight going on, and then the skin is pretty much done. I keep on saying it's done, but yeah, we will get there eventually. And then I'm going to pick this red here, and I'm going to go to my airbrush. I'm going to bring the brush size all the way down, and I'm just going to color her toenails. And then the one over here. And then I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to pull my white. I'm just going to add a little highlight, a little shine to the toenail. And there we go. Now I think I can finally say that after this one highlight here, skin is pretty much done, unless I decide to do adjustments after I color the whole piece, which I might do. Okay. I just highlighted the chin there. And maybe the neckline. Okay, so let's move on to, let's just work our way out. Why not? We can do the hair and the dress, and then the wings, and then the moon, and then we'll do the stars. So what color should I do her hair? I'm almost thinking of doing it a pretty pink, pinky purple. So let's jump maybe to our winter berry to start. We're going to go to our fill tool. Now I'm going to use pillow, and I'm going to keep in mind that I'm going to want my roots and undershading to be darker than my ends. So I'm actually going to tap towards the ends because it's going to get darker on top by using the pillow, and I'll show you what I mean. So by tapping here, the shade is going to, see how it's getting darker towards the root line, or the undergrowth, I should say. And that's what I want. So we're just gonna tap. You can't, you can do advanced mode. For shade, maybe I will use advanced mode here after I do this. Just gonna get my base color in first. Now here, I'm going to have to color match this darker color and get it in here because of the way that it breaks. Now we can continue. I used a darker color towards the root line. It was actually a mistake, I'm not gonna lie, but I like it. I thought it was on the same color and I wasn't. I must have accidentally hit it. But I actually like it, so I'm gonna leave it. Good mistake. And then I'm gonna use it again now. Gotta zoom in a bit here. These areas are tight. I'm just getting in all these little areas here. Yeah, I'm digging the darker and then the lighter flowing outward. Very cool. Okay, so I'm going to use advanced mode to shade the hair a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to use advanced mode to add some highlights to the hair. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit advanced. You're going to go to multi-select. And then you're just going to start picking your areas that you want to add highlights to this hair. Okay, so we got our areas picked, and I've already brought out the vapor palette. You can see it right here. And the reason being is I want this really bright pink. So I'm on airbrush and I'm just going to drop. You can literally go over your whole piece, and whatever areas you've done are going to naturally get highlighted. And I'm going to use the lighter orangey color too, and I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to go done. So then you get this really cool kind of effect going on. I'm actually going to do it again. I'm going to select a couple of pieces here. I'm going to mostly towards the ends now. And then I'm going to add some more colors in there. I was thinking maybe trying light blue. So airbrush. And then maybe some of this, no. So there, now we've got kind of a funky hair color going on, but I'm going to fix it up a little bit. I'm going to go to airbrush and I'm going to switch back over to automatic mode. And I'm going to bring this down. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but I'm just going to add a couple strands with the blue, just the blue. I'm going to leave the rest. But I do need to shade a little bit towards the base of the highlight. I don't even really need the strands, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna actually leave it. I'm just gonna shade the blue areas, and that's gonna be it. Maybe add some tips here to the hair. I'm just kind of fixing it up a bit to make sure that the strands all meet up properly and everything, because it overlaps quite a bit. So there, we kind of did a funky hair color with the vapor palette and using advanced mode and airbrush. Now to do the crown on her head, I was thinking maybe we'll do it blue as well, or purple. Or maybe blue and purple. I'm gonna go back to my Sugar Plum palette. I'm gonna go to my fill tool and I'm gonna go to metallic. And I'm just gonna hit these stars. And then after that, I'm gonna go back to glitter. I'm gonna go to the pink. And I'm just kind of gonna add some glitter to these stars around her head. In fact, I might even add some glitter to her hair. I'm gonna go freehand. I'm just in freehand so it deposits evenly throughout the hair. Ooh, I'm digging this. So I'm on freehand mode using glitter, low opacity, probably about 70% brush size. And I'm just depositing glitter in light blue and light pink throughout the hair. And I'm not really worried about staying in lines because I'm gonna go over this stuff later, and I think that's good. So then I'm going to go back to airbrush. I'm just going to color match this because this is the only place I didn't want to go outside the lines. I'll just fix this area. Okay, that's fine. So we got a little bit of glitter in our hair now, and that idea just came to me from doing the glitter crown. I said, well, why not put glitter in her hair too, right? Why not? We're having fun here, we're allowed. Okay, so now we're gonna do the dress, and I love coloring dresses as well. I guess it's safe to say I just love coloring. So I'm gonna stick with the Sugar Plum palette, I think, here. And I was thinking of possibly, I'm gonna try a couple things. So I'm gonna go to my fill tool, and I'm gonna go to, I'm just trying this, I don't know if I wanna do it. So I'm using the Sunflower fill. And I actually really like it, so I'm gonna leave it. I'm just darkening up the under parts of the dress. Yeah, no, I actually think that's really nice. So I'm gonna leave it, but I'm going to add a little bit of highlighting to it actually. So I'm gonna keep that green, but I'm gonna bring it up lighter. I'm gonna go to Airbrush, and then I'm going to just lighten it up in some areas so it actually looks like it's a flowing dress. And I'm just using Airbrush on the lighter spectrum of the green that I've already applied with the Sunflower fill tool. So she's wearing a pretty sunflower dress. I'm just highlighting around the dress areas that I think should have some highlight. And I'm probably going to do one more and go even lighter with the highlight. So for that, I believe my white got lost in translation with all the color plucking, so I'm going to go back and pick it up. I'm going to drop my brush size down low. And I'm going over the highlight with the white. This is what I call layering highlights. Or what you would call layering highlights, sorry. I didn't invent it. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just layering highlights. So my under color, the lighter green is there. So you still see that, but then you see the white kind of over top. So then we got this flowing gown. And then I'm going to color match this green. And I'm just going to blend out some of these harsher tips of the highlight around the bust anyway. I don't want being too harsh up there. And then I'm also just gonna lighten it up a little bit underneath, but not much, just a little bit. And then I was thinking to use the laser and maybe a light green. Almost like a white. I'm gonna put the brush size all the way down, opacity all the way up. I'm just seeing how this looks. I don't know if I'm keeping this or not. And I'm just adding little bursts, almost making it a sparkle sunflower dress. Yeah, I think that's pretty. So I'm just gonna do it towards the top and then a little bit at the bottom as well. Well, she certainly is colorful. But she's a fairy, so I guess that's allowed. Adding random dots, big ones, small ones, with the laser tool. And I'm just going to try some glitter out again too. I was trying it out and look at me go. So I'm just using glitter and then this light green here that I use to make the sparkles as well. So there we got this beautiful sunflower dress with all the sparkles and beauty a fairy should have. I can see that I missed a spot here, easily fixable. Go back to our sunflower. I need to be here first to color match, sunflower, fixed. Back to our glitter. Oops. And then I'm just going to darken this up a bit. Go to airbrush and I'm just going to shade a couple of these creases. I'm using the airbrush and I just brought the green right down to almost like dark green. I just think that there's a little bit of depth missing to the overall dress. So we're just gonna fix that up. I just feel I went a little bit too dark there, so I was just fixing it. And it's just adding some depth to the dress, because there would be shading, especially if it's going to be dark in the background, right? And it's okay if we're losing some sparkle because it's still shining through. We laid quite a bit of it down, so the shading is breaking it up, adding depth, and then you can see the sparkle shining through from everything. So it's actually very nice, I find. I'm just gonna try something here with this brighter green. And I'm just adding some flare to the skirt part. By highlighting it with a bright green. I was going to leave it all dark underneath, but I thought I could add even a little bit more depth by doing it this way. Okay, so we're getting there. And I'm actually going to touch up something that's bothering me right now. And I go to my fill, go to my pillow, and I like these sparkles, but I just feel near the end I'm not digging it as much. I'm actually entirely not even sure about the blue anymore with the green dress. I think it would look better just the pinks. Yeah, I actually do like that better. The blue is a nice thought, but I just think with the green dress, I think it's just too much happening. So I'm just fixing it up. I love the green dress though, so I'm not changing that. I just think it's better to have maybe two colors for the hair because it doesn't really, the blue I think just clashes with the dress. Go back to our glitter. Gonna go to Freehand, and I'm just going to add the lighter glitter and get rid of that blue-ish glitter. The blue is nice, it just, after changing the dress color, I just wasn't really digging it. Or after doing the dress color, sorry. And then since we're here, there's something I like to do too. Go to laser. I'm gonna bring the opacity down on that a bit. And we're gonna add in, it's on freehand mode for this because I want bringing the opacity down. Brush size is about at 25 because I like adding maybe a little bit more actually. Gonna add some sheen. So we got a little bit of sheen going with the hair as well. Just lightening up the ends. Sorry to backtrack, it's just, I had to fix it or it would have bothered me. So now I think it looks good with the peach and the pink, with the green dress, that's perfect. Okay. Now let's do her wings. The wings are going to be fun to do. So first of all, I'm going to color match. Because I'm gonna make them look almost transparent. I want to try one more thing here. I'll just leave it, it's fine. Okay, so I didn't do the belt yet. I'm gonna wait to see what color the wings turn out to be, and then I'll do the belt. So we got the dress, the hair, the makeup, the skin, all done. Now we have to do the wings, the moon. We've got to touch up the background a tad, and then do those sparkles. So with all that being said, I was thinking of almost doing the wings in like a nude color, with a little bit of color in it, like maybe some flesh tones of pinks and stuff in it to kind of give them a translucent look. Like use the background color, that is. So actually what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go freehand mode. I'm going to keep it on my airbrush. I'm going to color match this pink right here. And I'm just going to brush it through very lightly. And then I'm going to do the same over here, but I'm going to color match the color over here. And I'm just going to color it through. Okay, now we got all these beautiful pinks and purples color matched down here. I'm actually going to use those. So I'm going to bring the opacity down, and I'm actually going to try, let's see here, what am I going to try? I'm just going to try a couple of things. Yeah, I think I'll use my laser tool to highlight these. I'm going to put the opacity all the way up. And I'm just going to trace these wings. Maybe I'll bring the opacity down a bit. Now to get into these places, I'm going to have to, it's going to have to be a little more delicate, color match, and then I'm going to have to go automatic because I don't want to bleed into the work that I've already done. So I'm just lightening it up. I didn't really like the holes there, so I'm just kind of trying to make the depth a little bit different, trying to get more color into the wing. I'm gonna go back to Freehand, pick this light pink. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my laser and just highlight, but I'm not going to go around the circles this time. I'm just going to stick to the actual edges of the wings, and then the inside I'm going to do something different. Sometimes you don't know if you don't try, and there's nothing wrong with experimenting. So that's how I'm going to leave the wings on the outside, and that's the coloring on the inside, because I want to create, like I said, a kind of transparency. But I think I'm going to try the glitter. I think it's a glitter day today. I'm going to go down to my skin tones, and I'm going to pick out like one of these creams, and I'm just going to brush this glitter. Kind of following the lines. Now this I am digging. This I think is nice. I had some plans when I started this, but you see how plans change? That's okay. I'm having fun. So I'm just outlining these wings, going back and forth until I'm satisfied with that nice beige skin tone color almost. And I just outlined the edge in the laser tool. Look how pretty that looks. That's nice. I like it. I'm just going to widen it up a little bit and just put it over those those holes, just a little bit though. Too much. Can't forget about under here. Just fixing this one piece here. It's kind of hard to tell what was. Oops, I gotta go back on automatic mode for this. This is definitely wing, so I'm just lightening it up. It's kind of hard to tell. This is definitely wing too, now that I'm that's better. My glitter back out. I was having, sometimes it's hard to tell what areas are what before you start coloring it all in. I'm kind of adding more glitter now to blend the lines, but I'm just pressing gently. These are in fact going to be glitter wings. I used a lot of glitter in this picture. Okay, it's starting to look like a picture. A pretty picture, I'd say so myself. Okay, so I'm going to go to the laser. I'm gonna bring it down all the way up, all the way for opacity. And I'm just gonna further add some beauty to these wings here. Really make these wings sparkle and shine. Okay, so now we're going to color the moon. I just want to add a couple more, maybe in the center of some of these holes. Okay, so now the moon. Now I'm debating about the moon because there's so many other colors in here. So I think the best thing that we can do is keep it simplistic. And almost just do like a purple moon. I don't want to have too many, with the green dress kind of standing out and the colors of the hair. I really don't think that we need too much color variation going on here. So I think I'll kind of keep it I'm using the white now to outline it so it stands out a little bit because it is blending into the other colors, right? And that's really all I'm going to do for the moon. Nothing too crazy. Super simple. Super simple, but effective, I think. Okay, and then now I'm going to color in the stars. And I think I'm just going to keep it super simple as well. I'm going to go to my fill tool. Sorry, they're getting stumbly. Just kind of seeing my options here. I'm just using bloom. Then you're getting kind of like those outer edges still kind of white. And then I'm just gonna try something. We're pretty much almost done here. I'm just gonna try something with the laser. Actually, I'm gonna put it on freehand. lower opacity than that. I just want to kind of give them a glow, but I don't want it to be, so I just have my laser opacity all the way down and then the brush size all the way up, because I just want this glow, but I don't want it to look too bold. And I just want to try something with the half-tone brush too. So I'm just at about 30% all the way opacity, or brush size, sorry. And I just kind of using the half-tone brush to kind of add a little bit of different texture, I guess you would say, to the wings. And I think that's where we're gonna leave it for today. I just put a little bit of half-tone on the edge of the wings. And there's a sparkle in there with the moon, sunflower dress, and I think that's about good. Well, this has been fun. This is Breanne from Pigment. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody.